sense? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna step out real quick just because I'm supposed to be out of here at 10. It is 10 till 9.
Yeah.
We're done. We're done. Hold on one second. We're gonna do something a little different today. We actually had a member from another group that had a really awesome learning issue. So I wanted him to come in and actually present that, if that's okay.
Josh.
So a little pat on the back for his hard work.
Is this April Fool's?
Oh. Yeah, celebrity.
That's legit.
That's not a joke. That's serious.
Alright.
Yeah.
Dr. Helms asked me to come in and do this really good learning issue that I did for my group.
Be you and Sir Crowley?
Yeah, it's even better than that. So it'll just take a second. We're trying out something new where somebody from another group comes in and presents to your team, and we're also trying something else new where you use a PowerPoint instead of just like a Word document. So this shouldn't take too long, so just be patient with me.
Just hit the arrow.
The arrow?
Go to the next slide.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And really, the learning issue is not IP related. It's about me and Rebecca. So.
What?
Yeah. So I know a lot of y'all know us, and if you don't know me, you know Rebecca, and you know that she has a boyfriend, and I'm that guy. So I know you know a lot of y'all from school, and some from work, PPE, and things like that. But we never really sit down and talk about how we started dating and how we became a couple. So I'm going to do that today. So the first question is, how did Rebecca and Josh meet? So in 2004, it was my senior year at Clay Chalkwell High School, and that's a picture of our school there. This is our football helmet. We did win a state championship while both of us were in school there. And I walked in, the very first class in my senior year was food and parenting in first block. And I walked in and I just started talking to her, and that's really how we truly met. And in case you don't know where Clay is, I'm sure many of you don't know where Clay, Alabama is. The Star is Auburn, and just north of Birmingham is Clay, Alabama. So that's where that is. We really were friends in this class. We sat at the same table, and if there's any class in high school where somebody could show you like marriage talk, it would be food and parenting. And we took care of these little babies that you would have to make them quit crying by putting a key in their back. And Rebecca did well on both of those. So that was how we truly met.
Josh did it so good.
Here's pictures of us from high school. As you can tell, we were two different people. On the right is that styling. Long hair, long sideburns. What's going on? This is her with her best friend Melissa. She likes to joke around and say that I was too cool for her in high school. We weren't that good of friends, and as you can tell by the picture, I really was too cool for her. So,
too cool.
Too cool for her. Yeah. So that was 2004. It's 2013 now, and you'd say, okay, so y'all been really good friends for 9 years. Well, not exactly. After high school, I graduated a year before her. After high school, I stayed home for 2 years, went to community college, and she went ahead and moved down to Auburn. And we kind of kept in touch on Facebook, but like a few wall posts every year, nothing major, and we weren't really that close. So, in the fall of 2007, we did reunite in Auburn as friends. We were in Organic Chemistry 1, and this is the second time in our lifetime that we have found out on the first day of class that we have the class together. We had Dr. Parrish, and anybody that did undergrad at Auburn knows this building and hates this building like I do, because this is where we did regular chemistry, organic chemistry, and also mammalian was in this building. So lots of hours of confusion were spent in this building. And I feel like I really was made to have this class with Rebecca, because not only did we rekindle our friendship in this class, we started studying together and realized that we could help each other get through school. So we didn't make anything more of it then because we both had people in our lives, other people in our lives at the time. So nothing really grew from it besides just being study partners there. In the fall of 2007, we also started going to pre-pharmacy club meetings together. This was something that we decided to go to pharmacy school on our own. A lot of people don't know that and think we just both said, okay, we can both go to pharmacy school. This is an individual decision that we both made for ourselves. And it just so happens when we reunited in Auburn, we had a common goal for pharmacy school. So we started going to these pre-pharmacy club meetings together. And really one of the only ones I remember was one that we did at the pharmacy school. And we had the meeting here, and Dr. Ousley took us around to the rooms, and he showed us all the technology, in the auditoriums and stuff. And he showed us a team room and the cool monitors and how we can VC and all that stuff. And I just remember when we left, I was like, we got to do this. We got to get in pharmacy school. This place is cool. And so, so that was definitely something that stuck in my mind. And as you can tell, she had a little bit better 2007 than I did. She's with Pat Dye here at a party, which was at his house, right? Yeah. And then here I am by myself playing guitar. So as you can tell, she's a little bit better 2007. So. All right, fall of 2008, we're single and ready to mingle. We finally shed some pretty bad exes, the both of us. We're both single, and for the third time in our life, we find out on the first day of class that we have something together. This time, we decided we were going to be lab partners for micro, and this is kind of where I worked my way into her life, I guess, because we started riding to school together, and she would give me rides to lab, and I would give her rides and things like that. And I remember we were walking back one time. We were walking back from the lab, and I said something like, I guess if you and me do this, we get accepted, we go to pharmacy school, we get out of pharmacy school, we're just gonna have to get married. And we were friends enough that it wasn't total creep when I said it. But there was just there was the idea in the back of my mind that I wasn't joking that much. It could really happen, So, all right, the spring of 2009. We love hypotheses in IP, especially Dr. Solomon. So you can go ahead and make one by the title of this slide. We now have every science class together. We have every lab together. Within those labs, we're lab partners as much as possible. So we're starting to spend a lot of time in and out of school together. And we're still helping each other study. We're trying to get through what really was our tougher classes, immunology, genomic biology, things like that. So we're starting to get through all these classes and things like that. Really, I guess you could say this is where we were talking, where the two parties are, they want to do it, but you don't want to be more than the other person. You're afraid to get rejected or something like that, or at least I was. So I guess you could say this is our talking phase. And I do want to point out in the bottom right picture right there is what is known as my woolly mammoth beard. This is something that I used to grow every October to about Valentine's Day. I would shave it. She always hated it, and I always loved it. So
there you notice it's not there.
It's not here. It hasn't really showed up in pharmacy school. I've tried to keep it profesh. So we did go on our first date this semester. If you hypothesize that, you were right. This is a fun story too. Our first date was we went to see Gran Torino. It's the reason this is such a fun story to tell is because I didn't really tell her it was a date, and even funnier than that, I didn't tell her it was a double date. So I go over to her house to pick her up and wake her up from a nap on the couch. She did no getting ready. She just came out to the truck, and here two of my friends we're all fixed up, ready to go out. And so she says, when she tells the story, she's always like, I looked such a hot mess that night, and blah blah blah. But I don't remember it that way. All I can remember was yeah, she's going on a date with me, and I didn't, she wasn't a hot mess at all that night. So in 2009, we also celebrate our first Valentine's Day. We went to Chef Lee's, which is in Columbus. I recommend that if you've never been there. I talked her into getting some weird lemon chicken that turned out to be pretty gross for her. I regret that. But other than that, the date couldn't have gone any better. And as you can tell in the picture on the right, she had ample warning that this was a real date. Down in the bottom left was handiwork by me. I made that strawberry pie all by myself, including some pretty sweet lattice work on the top. So, yeah. Something neat about this restaurant, we did revisit it for our Valentine's Day this year, since this is technically our last year in Auburn. We did go back and eat here for Valentine's again this year, and she got something much better for her meal. So, all right. February 24th of 2009. Yes. I went over to her house this night. I had to work at CVS. And so I went over to her house, asked her to be my girlfriend. She says yes. We hugged. And then I left almost immediately after that. I had some homework, something school related, I don't remember. We started telling a few of our friends, oh, we're dating. And they're like, nuh-uh, it's not on Facebook. And this was like this is right when Facebook official was just starting to be a thing. So we put it on Facebook, and then everybody started believing us. So it's really neat to go back and look at these old pictures and things like that and see where we came from, because over the course of these 40 years, we really have changed a lot, and it's just really neat to check that out. So about a year and some change later, I graduated with the biomedical science minor in psychology, and here I am with a picture of the healthy tumors oat. And that's one of my favorite pictures always. We'll cherish a picture like that with a drugstore in the background, because that was a happy time in Auburn. So here's my family that was able to make it that day. Here I have represented my mom and dad, both of my sisters, and that's my niece that my dad's holding there. That's my uncle in the background with the glasses on his head. And we're only missing one family member, which is my sister's second child, a young boy named Caleb that was born in 2011. So, and Ainsley, my other sisters. my other niece. Yeah, so Rebecca's going to go on to graduate in August. Here she is with Albie. She got really lucky at that. Getting Albie there for that picture, because he was there for somebody else, and then he hopped in the car and left right after that. So he wasn't there doing pictures. That's awesome. Yeah, this is only a portion of her family. These are the ones that made it to graduation. She has several aunts and uncles, cousins, and a set of grandparents that aren't represented in the picture here. Another kind of funny story about her graduation. This picture was taken on August the 9th, 2010. Which was my 23rd birthday. August 10th, 2010, we stepped into pharmacy school for the first time. So Rebecca had about an 8-hour summer break that year. So we started orientation the very next day. Here we are at the white coat, having no idea what was lying ahead of us. Okay, this is where you guys fit in. At this point, this is when y'all came into our lives. One thing we did notice within the first few weeks of pharmacy school is that we were really going to have to stick together if we were going to make it out alive. Y'all know it's a different world once you walk in these doors. And having someone that's going through the same exact thing can be so comforting. I never have to explain to her why I'm studying on a Saturday night at 8 o'clock for a final. I don't have to tell her why every Thursday at 2 I go see a random person out in Opelika or something like that. I've never had to explain that, and I feel like that's an advantage that she and I have had through our relationship. So, this is the P1 prom year. You have optional tacky or formal for this prom. Big Sean represented back there behind Jeanette, and we were like the only four people. We were the only 4 people that came tacky. Everybody else had on like formal wear tuxedos. 4 of us tacky. So.
Dr. Solomon. She wanted to see this presentation as well.
You want to come in?
Yes, you're invited.
Yeah.
No, I told them that you were going to give a really nice presentation. So.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, and the very next slide was taken P2 year, and the reason I included this slide was because there are a lot of faces in this picture that we made friends with, and we made some very dear friendships that we'll try to keep after pharmacy school. Alex Jenkins and Jay and Caitlin, people like that. We just went on a big spring break trip with a bunch of these people, and this is really, a lot of people we started spending time with outside of school, so I did want to include this picture. This was Cody Hill's birthday party, as you can tell. He's going. Okay. Also, we did go to the Hangout Festival. There's about 12 of us. You should recognize most of these faces here as well. Just to the left of the Ferris wheel is our man Cody Bennett. He made the trip really fun. We're also going again this year. We've already got the plan set up for that. And I did have to Photoshop Matt Todd in on the end. He left before this picture, but I had to put him in because he made the trip what it was. Between him and Cody, we couldn't stop laughing. So our last big trip of the year, we did go to the University of Utah, and this was the elective course that we could do here at Auburn. This is School on Alcoholism and Other Drug Dependencies. And the neat thing about this trip is we got to connect with our Mobile campus. And I know, I don't know how y'all feel about it, but often I feel like we're disconnected from them in a lot of ways. We do have the same name, Harrison School of Pharmacy, but it feels like two different schools. And so we got to talk to them, see how they did things differently. Very cool experience. And also the Auburn people that went, we didn't know them very well. So that was cool too. So we did continue to stay together, things like that all through pharmacy school. It must have worked because in 2012, we both got into road sorry, this is just me. I can't find the picture of her. Mom didn't even know where it was. It's not on Facebook, so I couldn't find it. But she did get in, even though it's just the picture of me. You're right. So we did get into road in 2012. So I'm sure you're wondering, why am I telling you all this? You probably don't care that much. The reason I'm here is because we've talked a lot about where the Lord is going to take us after pharmacy school. And I'm not necessarily talking about what city or country or anything like that. I'm talking about where our relationship is going. And we both have firm intentions of getting married after pharmacy school and living our life as Christian pharmacists together. So I did want to eventually propose to her and ask her for her hand in marriage. And if you Google how to propose to someone, the very first thing that comes up, you got to ask for the dad's permission. All right, that's just old school and traditional. And for the men that are in here that have not proposed, do that. Very important. So I could just say, hey, Mr. Blackshear said it was cool, go ahead. But we are in the midst of some great technology here. And I have a little surprise for Becca, and y'all get to enjoy it as well. So. Oh, sorry. My parents do, but we'll get to that.
Hey Rebecca, hey Josh. We just wanted to tell you just a little bit about Rebecca. She was our first child, our baby girl. She was also the first granddaughter to both my parents and Derek's parents. So she was always very special growing up. She had their hearts.
She became a Christian at age 6 and has always been someone that just loves helping others and doing things for others.
She had a great group of girlfriends in high school that supported one another all the time, including her roommate now, Kim. They just always stuck really tight together, so they had a great support system.
Throughout college, she finally found that special person God has placed in her life, Josh. And we love Josh tremendously. He supports her in all she does, and is just a godly leader, and seems to be trying to grow in Christ, just like we would want for our daughter.
We're very happy about them being together. They've been together a long time, and we really love the look in their eyes when they look at each other and they joke with each other. So we're very proud that they're moving forward in their relationship.
We love you guys.
Bye.
Okay, so good. That's, I guess, if you want to relate this to pharmacy school, you could call that the rate limiting step. That's when someone marry you, because if father does not approve, your rate of proposal is severely limited. So, lucky for me, they're both great Christian people. They've welcomed me with open arms since the first day that I met them. and it's really been a joy getting to know them and their family. So I kind of ruined it, but I also asked my parents for approval. I felt like my parents deserved to give their input, and really that means just as much to me as it did her parents' approval. And that was certainly something that I wanted to share. So here's what they had to say, and I'm going to crank it up.
In 2007, we brought our only son Josh to Auburn to prepare for his future. From a 19-year-old young man, he has weathered storms including a blown engine in his first truck, traveling to the other side of the country for a national championship football game, and even the forgettable 2012 football season as a student. We've enjoyed watching Josh grow and mature.
Auburn and pharmacy school were his first two major decisions. We fully supported Josh in these decisions. As we anticipate our 40th anniversary this year, we trust that this third major decision will be as rewarding to Josh and Rebecca as our lives together have been, a continued partnership blessed by God and fed by love. We love you, Josh and Rebecca.
Okay. You would think I could cover my bases here and I could stop there. However, I do have one more group that I felt like I needed to run this by. Everybody knows that a girl's best friends are really going to have the final say in whether or not she can marry that guy. You know, the best friend often knows more about the relationship than the parents do, because what the parents see is good, but the best friend knows how it really is. You know, if they're fighting or something like that, they tell the best friend first. They're not going to tell the parent first. So ultimately, I needed the best friend's approval as well. So let's hear what they had to say.
Hey Becca! You know you're probably really shocked and really surprised right now, but we just wanted to tell you how much we love you and that we're so grateful for your friendship.
We're so excited that you found someone as great as Josh to spend the rest of your life with, and we could not be happier for the two of you.
We love you so much. We hope you enjoy this day.
We can't wait to see you and celebrate.
Love you! Woo!
Alright, so now I've received it from the three major parties. When it comes down to it, there's really only one person left to approve to marry me. So today I'm giving you the opportunity to make me the happiest man in the world. Rebecca, will you marry me?
It's the best IP ever.
Right?
Best IP ever.
Oh my God,
Oh, I can't get off. Oh my goodness!
Hang on just a second.
Oh my goodness!
Ooh. I gotta see this.
Oh God, she came in here.
Oh wait, I might have not been recorded, Rebecca.
I can't tell that. It takes a little while.
What? Yeah, I know, ran like